Hello, I am Xarkun. This is World of Warships Legends. Today, I bring you a video on the newly buffed premium Tier 7 Soviet cruiser Kutuzov. Now, according to the patch notes on the ship, the only buff it received is it now has access to the repair party consumable. You can get 3 of them with the fully packed skill that is available in the legendary skill line of Kutuzov, and of course that's what I'm using, so I have 3 of these things. According to the notes, it is the same repair party consumable that is found on the Tech Tree Tier 7 Soviet cruiser Chapayev. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this repair party here. The ship itself has 40,700 hit points, which is decent, for a Tier 7 cruiser. But the repair parties bring that hit points pool up significantly, or at least they potentially do. So this repair party restores plus 244 hit points per second for a duration of 28 seconds. Now, doing the math here, 244 times 28 is 6,832. So, potentially, a single repair party on the ship restores 6,832 hit points, but that assumes that all of the damage that you take is able to be repaired. You can repair all fire damage and all flooding damage, but you can't repair things like citadel hits, etc. So there are some things you can't repair. The heavy type damage is going to be a no-go. Light damage, absolutely. So that number, 6,832, in terms of the number of hit points regained by using the repair party, that's only a potential. Still, that is extremely significant, especially if you take that number, 6,832, and multiply it by 3, the number of the consumables. When you do that, you get 20,496. That is the total amount of potential hit points you can regain by using all 3 repair party consumables. 40,700 plus 20,496 equals 61,196 potential hit points. Obviously, you probably are not going to effectively have that many hit points even with the repair party consumable, but I hope that illustrates for you just how powerful and how significant a repair party on a cruiser like this can be. This repair party is going to make the difference from time to time between you exiting the game and you remaining in the game. And frankly, I am not entirely sure why the developers thought it was necessary to give this ship a repair party. I believe the justification was the fact that the legendary tier ships will soon be entering the fray here on World of Warships Legends, and all of the Tier 7 cruisers got a buff of some kind. Some of them, like the Baltimore, got more significant buffs than others, but they all got a buff. And the goal stated by Wargaming was to make sure these ships were competitive and could stand up to the legendary tier ships, the Yamato, Grosser Kurfürst, and Alaska. However, this Kutuzov, as we know, is a long-range HE spamming sniper The guns range out to something like 19 kilometers. I think it's in excess of 19 kilometers on my build. And if you have a fully maxed out Kutuzov, I'm sure that the max range can be made to be extended even longer. So, this ship is incredibly difficult for things like battleships and other cruisers to hit at excessive ranges. Most of them do not share the same excellent ballistics that the Kutuzov enjoys, or Kutuzov. I swear it is pronounced Kutuzov, but you know, sometimes I slip. A lot of people say Kutuzov, but it's Kutuzov, alright? Anyway. Most other ships don't have such flat shell arcs. Obviously, the shells on this Kutuzov are easy to aim at faraway enemy targets, easy to score hits. I think they have a pretty high shell velocity too, so oftentimes you can hit the enemy and they can't hit you. And I was looking back at my first look at the Kutuzov, and I did say this ship was not super maneuverable, and I stand by that. I'll look at this here. Unfortunately, our friend, Nemesis Corrupt, just did a video with some of his gameplay. Is right there in the gap to be torpedoed by an Akatsuki. I tried to support him there, but unfortunately, most of my shells actually ended up hitting his ship and missing the Akatsuki. So, he goes down. Our team here has not done a particularly good job of positioning. We are down to 4 ships. The enemy has only lost 2 ships, and everybody is concentrated on this side of the map. Doesn't look like things are going to go very well for us, but I picked this game for a reason, and that reason is to demonstrate just how maneuverable the Kutuzov actually is at long range. Now, on my build here, it does have a rudder shift time of 6.5 seconds, which is beaten by other Tier 7 cruisers, especially if you want to spec into the rudder shift. I have not done that on this ship, but I am now, after this game, thinking that it might be a viable option. Now, I do launch torpedoes right as that Gneisenau goes down to torpedoes launched by, I assume, some other friendly ship. So, wasted torpedoes there, but that's alright. We've got the friendly destroyer in the enemy base. He is putting pressure on them, and I would like to support him, but I don't dare do that since there are a number of battleships out there, and also 2 enemy cruisers, a Belfast and a Charles Martel. I lay down smoke instead. I am angling inside of the smoke screen and continuing to move. If you sit stationary in a smoke screen and you remain completely broadside, you might have battleships like this taking blind shots at you in the smoke, and that is not going to end well for you. This ship is incredibly squishy. It can easily be deleted by battleship guns, and if you get a sneaky enemy destroyer that comes close enough to the smoke screen to spot you, and you are broadside to the nearest enemy battleships, you might find yourself in a bit of trouble. So angling in smoke screens is always a good idea. A number of those enemy ships took blind shots at us in the smoke screen. Not one of them hit, probably because from their perspective it's difficult to tell exactly how my ship is positioned. Whereas if I'm flat broadside, it's pretty easy to tell that I am flat broadside. Now, the 2 battleships are seeking cover behind this island. I believe they are somewhat tired of my relentless HE spam. So I am moving around. The friendly destroyer is now dead. That just leaves me and this battleship, and the prospects of us winning this game are not looking good. I don't think between the two of us that we can take down 5 remaining enemy ships, although I am trying very hard to start a fire on this Colorado. Anyway, this Kutuzov has incredible offensive power capabilities. Its damage output is ridiculous, and it can do it from the safety of great distances. When you're at great distance, I actually, now that I've been in a position like this, find it relatively easy with a 6.5 second rudder shift time to dodge incoming fire. There we do take a hit from one of the enemies, and it's a pretty significant hit. We get lit on fire there 3 times, which is outrageous. So we do burn the damage control, and we do deploy one of the repair parties. Now, here I am, just sort of weaving back and forth, switching the rudder from left to right, and dodging a metric crap ton of enemy fire. Look at just how difficult it is for those battleships to hit me when I am doing this at this kind of range. And even though I am not aiming at them, I'm aiming at the Belfast because he is closest, and he is able to pretty consistently hit me. So if I can take anybody down, I need to take down this Belfast as quickly as possible. But the enemy battleships that are out there, I can't really tell how far away they are. Is that maybe like 11, 12 kilometers or so? It's kind of hard to see the white numbering against the white background of the skybox there. But, you know, they're relatively far away, and they're not even as far away as they could be. Still, I am able to flip the aft end of the ship around back and forth and dodge a lot of fire. We're at 23,000 hit points right now, and you know, we've been in that range for quite a while now. I'd love to see a detailed damage report of how much incoming damage I managed to miss by all the dodging I did there. But, you know, hopefully someday. Anyway, the point is, the further away you are from these battleships, and cruisers for that matter, the harder it will be for them to hit you, especially if you are actively maneuvering like I was there. So the rudder shift, you know, it's actually not as bad as I might have originally thought. I don't think it got buffed, and it can be made better with the steering gears mod and things of that nature. So this ship is capable of dodging incoming salvos from enemy ships at long range, which means, in my opinion, if you make a mistake in this ship, you deserve to be punished. And I don't necessarily think you should have access to this repair party. Like I said, it is a huge, huge bonus to a cruiser to have a repair party. It drastically increases their survivability, along with their ability to dodge incoming enemy fire. So this Kutuzov, you know, very frustrating for battleships to hit at range if it is actively maneuvering. And in my opinion, if you are actively maneuvering like that, you don't really need a repair party. It's just a little bit too much sympathy, I think, paid to this particular ship, which is incredibly powerful in terms of offensive damage output anyway, before the repair party. And you can see this game here is about to end. We haven't achieved a kill, but we have gotten almost 170,000 damage. I think we're going to clear that number before time runs out here. And we aren't going to end up dying, despite the fact that at one point we had 3, maybe 4 enemy ships shooting at us, and all we did was sort of dodge their shells. And we are able to maintain fire on them as well. We aren't going to take out the Charles Martel before the time runs out. Time is going to run out now. The battle ends in defeat. We did 170,000 something damage. And, you know, there is a look at the buffed Kutuzov for you and my thoughts on it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.